Hello, everybody. This is the Sceptical Scotsman with my funny hat.
And this is Robert Hawley with my Nirvana hat. Apparently, the climate specialist at the UN suggests how humans can help the climate stop breathing. Maybe they need to choke off their own fucking air supply.
You know, you said that backwards. You said you messed that one up. You just told me that they suggested that humans stop breathing to stop climate change.
Well,
and you didn't see, you garbled that all the fuck up. Yes, I have my camera next to his computer, so the stuff I do on mine, I don't care because I'm shrinking this down when I get home because I'm recording it. He's doing the live stream. It's okay. Because, last week I couldn't come because I had a wicked ass cold. I mean, like, I got off half a day early on Friday, and I don't eat soup, right? You know I'm like...
Yeah.
I was chugging soup down. Only happens when I have a cold. Not a flu. Flu I can stand. But I had a hellacious cold. I was on medicine. I'm still on Sudafed to keep my sinuses from draining all the time. That's why I sound a little nasally today. But that's why we didn't do this last week, is because I was down and out, and then I had to go to work this week, so yeah.
And then you sent me a message that you were Optimus Prime.
No, actually, I posted a short on YouTube and Facebook of me doing an impression of Optimus Prime.
Told me to check it out and share it.
And a week ago, or when I recorded it, I didn't sound this good. I literally sounded like Optimus Prime. I didn't have to, alter anything in my throat or vocal cords. It was there. And I've sent it to a few people and they're like, well, that was almost good. Without doing anything? Yeah, bullshit. Good try, though, people.
Hey, they get an A for effort.
I thought it was an A for asshole.
Both.
Anyway. But he wanted to do this podcast. He told me about it 2 or 3 weeks ago.
About 2.5.
And, he already knows I'm a full-time maintenance man where I live, so I'm working all week. So I'm not always up for doing a podcast because the weekends are my download time. Like last night, I finally saw the newest Hunger Games movie.
Yeah,
I'd recommend it for you. He loves a good villain. Hell, he loves a good or bad villain. He just loves he's a CM Punk freak.
Used to be.
Y'all be the judge of that. But I'm an Undertaker freak, so at least I have a character that's maintained their longevity and retired in it.
Yeah.
Your character's still figuring out what the hell he's doing. But he wanted me to come on here and we cover a wide variety of topics, including the debacle, including that embarrassment that was a Republican debate or debacle, depending on how you look at it. And like I told him right after the debate, we as a country lost on that debate. The only one who came up with a little bit of grace, in my opinion, mind you, I used to be Republican. I was born into a Republican family, and then Obama came and I switched to independent. And I've been independent ever since.
Yeah.
That way I can shit on both parties, because I'm not concerned with what one party or the other wants. I'm what's good for everybody, the whole country. Not just the conservative Republican ass winos or whatever the hell you want to call them.
MAGA.
I didn't vote for Trump and I didn't vote for Biden. So if anybody's like, well, you're too this, you do that, my comment to you is flipping you the bird.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. I'm more looking for everybody to be happy. Not just one section, not just the evangelicals. Well, we need God in our schools. What about the children who are raped in church and all this other crap? I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
But in the debate, we had a discussion about the debate already.
Yeah.
And he agreed. He agreed with me over here because I told him as a whole, America didn't learn anything about the candidates. The only candidate who had poise and passion and was understandable without mudslinging was Chris Christie. Vivek Ramaswamy, dude slit his own throat. He did that from like the first televised one that was on regular TV. Corey, whatever that black guy's name was, he slit his own throat the first debate that they televised.
Tim Scott.
Yeah, he slit his own throat. Nikki Haley, she didn't slit her throat near as bad, but then there's Ron DeSantis, or as Trump loves to call him, the sanctimonious. He kind of like, okay, I'm going to put the noose around my neck and start pulling on it and hope to God nobody pulls the rope or the ladder out from underneath. That way I don't choke. It's like, dude, no. The only one I saw who won, now, he might not agree with me on everything.
Yeah.
At least not on YouTube. In person, it's a whole different story because he's not playing up or down to anybody. But that was my take on it, is that Chris Christie presented himself with a comport suiting a politician, a gentleman, and a leader.
Yeah.
I know, I used the word comport. He's like, what's comport, man?
Now, what about Doug Burgum?
Doug Burgum? Who the hell is Doug Burgum?
He was the one that was wanting to bring small town values to the United States. The North Dakota governor.
Okay. I'll preface this by saying, you remember the song Try That in a Small Town?
Yeah.
In a small town like that, where that song was filmed, it's like 10,000 or less. And the actual definition of a small town is 10,000 or less.
Yeah.
Now, you take a city of 10,000, hold a convention there, like a basketball convention.
Yeah.
You will flood that town with thousands of people. You'll help them out, but if anything starts turning violent, that town is screwed. So try that in a small town, and, well, we need small town values. You cannot tell somebody to go out and work for it if they're actively looking in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Like, I know people who, well, I can't get a job anywhere. Okay, what's keeping you? A felony, bad reference, several evictions. What's the problem? They're not paying enough. Nobody's going to pay you $25 an hour because you think you need to earn that much.
Yeah.
They're going to give you a starting wage. Like with the job I have, like most of the jobs I've had in the past 15 years, I've not worked for minimum wage since the single-digit 2000s.
Yeah. My first job back in 1998 at Burger King on West Street, starting $5.25 an hour.
How is it you're almost 10 years old, you're like 8 years older than me, and you started working when I was 18? 1998, I'd already been working like 6 years. I started working at 12. By the time I got to 18, I wasn't making the minimum wage.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, my starting wage was $5.25 an hour.
Wouldn't you, now see, I don't get, you couldn't have been 18, you were like, what, 27?
Yeah.
Why would you wait so long to start working?
Taking care of my sick mom.
Yeah, I'm not buying that totally. I have to be a skeptic here. I'm not saying that it's not true, but wait until you're 26 to get a job. She had insurance. She had all the stuff she needed to have caregivers. So what'd you do? Take the money and go get high?
No.
Well, it has to be asked. And yes, I'm not saying smoking weed's a bad thing. Not in a million years, okay? But yeah. I've been working since 1992 when I was 12 years old. I was cleaning a laundromat for an entire laundromat. I helped the laundromat lady clean the place for a quarter so I could play a pinball machine, but it was still pay. And I did such a good job. My siblings tried to get in on the action and found out they weren't as good as cleaning the laundromat as I was.
Yeah.
But I've been a bat boy, gopher, mat boy. The difference, Bat Boy and Mat Boy are two different things. Mat Boy happens to be in television. I used to organize a tape room there. But yeah, I've been the guy who cleans a stadium. Basically, almost anything with Bible salesman and preacher, I've pretty much done. And Chippendale. I haven't been a stripper.
Trust me, you ain't got the body for it.
I don't have to have the body for it. I just got to have one part that's good. I know, and people are going, holy shit. He just went there. Yes, I did. So I got to take a big drink of from my enormous water bottle. No, it's not vodka. Because I got to drive all the way back across the city to get home. I'm not driving that drunk. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Next.
I was reading an article earlier today about how anti-Semitism is becoming more normal in today's society.
It's becoming accepted. Yes.
Yes, and mainstream. And I forget that dude's name. He's a very prominent lawyer. Said that he has reached out to some of his fellow lawyers and told them don't hire people that's coming from UPenn, MIT, or Harvard because they're too radicalized. Oh, what do you have to say on that?
What I have to say is probably going to piss some people off, but I don't care. I haven't cared. I have an opinion, and I happen to know some shit. Okay, first off, for all the people who are watching YouTube and TikTok, YouTube has perfectly acceptable history channels and places that give accurate information. The problem with most of these woke kids is if it doesn't give them the history they want to hear, they try to cancel it.
Yeah.
And when you're only listening to woke history you want to hear, or the history you want to accept, you end up getting revisionist history. It's like they're trying to say, okay, our colonial days were all about slavery. No, they weren't about slavery. They were about building a country. Slavery just happened to be one of the bigger issues.
Yeah, and like a lot of these college students, with a little paper signs, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
No,
let them try that over there in Gaza.
Well, I saw that video too, and I totally buy into that. If you want Gaza to be free, go the fuck over there and say that shit there. Why won't they do it? Because you don't have the same fucking freedoms we have here.
No.
And these kids are like, well, they deserve to know. They're forgetting one huge factor, and I've already said this on my own podcast.
Yeah.
And he knows this because I made him listen to it twice. The Israelites are an actual ethnic group that can be traced back thousands of years in the same spot.
Yep.
Literally, they've been there the whole time. They've had to spread out because, well, the Muslim people come in and try to wipe them out completely. Yeah. But they always come back, and then people are like, well, no, they're not pure. And neither are the Palestinians. The Palestinians are literally not an ethnic. They're not an ethnic group. They're a hodgepodge of peoples that were like, well, every time they got defeated, they were put in the fold of something else.
Yeah.
And after enough generations, you have a hodgepodge of different peoples.
Turks, Arabs,
different tribes that got taken over. But the Israelites, the Jews, still have an ethnic footprint, a genetic link to that whole area. I've got these woke friends right now who are, well, I've got DNA evidence. They send me all this information. And one of them sent me a link to a page claiming this is all genocide. The problem is there's no date on this article.
No.
There is no author name to this paper. No date, no name. It ain't information. It's trash written by somebody who's trying to scapegoat the Palestinians off to be, well, this is a genocide. Unless I'm mistaken, a genocide is where you eliminate all people regardless.
Holocaust.
Yeah, you could very well say that. But that's what everybody's that's what all these woke idiots are calling the bombing of Palestine. Israel isn't trying to eliminate Palestine at all. They're not trying to. Hamas wants to hide in the population. Yeah. That way you have to destroy the entire population of Palestine to get to them.
Yeah.
Guerrilla tactics or not, if you think this is the right kind of war, go there and fight that war. And then when you get shot through the head or a plane falls on top of you,
or raped,
either one, any of those, then you can come tell me about how genocidal the Israelites are. They're not trying to kill the Palestinians. But Hamas is intermingling in the innocents. And yeah, people are going to die. That happens.
Yeah. Well, just like Jake Sullivan sent a warning to Bibi Netanyahu, wrap this up within weeks. We want it wrapped up by the end of the year.
It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Israel needs to eliminate Hamas, or the Palestinians can, I don't know, give the fuck up the members of Hamas. If they don't know who they are, well, guess what then? They have to keep going. It's not genocidal. If they were genocidal, they'd be indiscriminately bombing the shit out of the entire population of Palestine. That would be a genocide. This is not a genocide.
No.
This is them trying to get rid of a terrorist group that wants to eliminate Israel and the Israelites and all the Jewish people off the face of the earth. There's a huge difference. Why these woke kids don't understand that, I don't know. I'm not an idiot. I aced history.
Yeah.
History was easy. But these kids don't want to learn history. They want to learn gentrified history. History that with a certain slant.
TikTok history.
You mean like TikTok gender studies? Well, we can't define what a man or woman is, then maybe you need to fucking go read a book. Backhand their ass with a book and watch them fly. Well, that offended me. Okay, you look stupid too. Big deal. And yes, I've actually said that to Gen Zers. And it really doesn't bother me because I don't care.
Now, because of the whole TikTok history bullshit, yeah. Gen Z wants the Diary of Anne Frank canceled because it goes against their narrative.
You know how many books are banned currently? I went to a bookstore last weekend. You know how many banned books there are?
Quite a fucking few.
More than 30. You know how many of them I've read?
All of them.
Almost all of them. Like, for instance, the Diary of Anne Frank. Unlike Gen Z, unlike you guys, our generation, it was required in middle school.
Yes.
You didn't get to, well, I don't want to read this because it doesn't. Her diary was required reading in junior and senior high, or middle school and high school for those who are old enough. It wasn't a banned book, it was required reading. Just like Harry Potter, the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
They're now in the banned book section. I've read all of them more times than most people have.
Why the fuck are they in the banned book section, Gen Z?
Because evangelical Christians don't want witchcraft being taught to their kids through J.K. Rowling's books. The book doesn't have any magic spells in it. These are made up from the imagination of a lady. The people who, well, we can't have that in our schools. Put your head in your kid's playpen sandbox. Keep it there. If you think that J.K. Rowling's books are dangerous, damn, you're dumb. Just to justify my position. Okay, you know I've read them.
Yeah.
Here's a holy shit for YouTube. My 9-year-old daughter is on book 2. And I make her read aloud so she can memorize the book, so she can memorize what she's reading. It's worked. I can quiz her on stuff in the book. Yeah, who better to quiz her on Harry Potter? Somebody who's read them.
Yeah.
She remembers every detail. She asked me, why isn't this character in the movie? Why isn't that character in the movie? Because she's seen the movies.
Yeah.
And some of these characters don't show up. She's like, weren't they there? The movie changed some stuff. But why? I don't know.
Probably to condense the hours.
Well, like, in all the Harry Potter books, you hear about Peeves the Poltergeist, and not once in Harry fucking Potter movies does he appear.
No.
At all. He's one of the biggest players in the ghost world that there is. Literally, he's, I think, in every single book.
Yeah.
He's in the book more than the other house ghosts are. But yet, he's omitted. But this is from a banned book because we can't have our children learning witchcraft and shit like that. Have you ever said Wingardium Leviosa to something and it float? No! Are you high? If you're seeing shit like that, if you're saying crap out of Harry Potter, I want the weed you're smoking. Because damn, that's a good trip.
Yeah.
Whoa, shit, it's floating, dude. Oh, the walls are melting too.
Now, see, what I think is unfair is you have the Republicans who are getting their debates, the Democrats who aren't.
I think both sides should have a debate. Whether or not they already have somebody in the office or somebody who's clearly out of the polls. Do I think that Donald Trump needs to get in the debate already? Yes, I do. Why? Have you watched any of his rallies lately? Clips of his rallies? He's about as intelligible as Joe Biden is.
Yeah.
Well, he rambles on for a second, just slurring his words. It's like, dude, lay off the gin. Stay sober for a fucking minute. I mean, yeah, I get that Sleepy Joe is old. He's 80 or 81. He's old
81.
as shit. He's old. He's going to forget stuff. He's going to go off on tangents, which none of us want to hear, because it's like hearing your great-grandfather go off on a weird tangent, like, gun or whiskey? One of them right now. He's on a tangent. We're going to hear about the good old days when they struck gold in California in the 1830s.
Now, and even Joe Biden, half the shit he says has been fact-checked, and he has lied about. Like,
I don't think it's more or less him outright lying. I think he's so old, he's starting to have a lot of senior moments. Like, I think it's a lot of senior moments.
Yeah, like supposedly riding the Amtrak for 2,000 hours.
That's possible.
And talking about this one conductor, called him Joey Baby, and come to find out that conductor had died 3 years before Joe Biden said that he met him.
And my dad had some senior moments because he said that he met Sam Walton, he met Colonel Sanders, he's met Marilyn Monroe, all when he was a young child, of course. And instituted those things into his life. The guy didn't work for like 13 years when I was going to school because I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad and make sure my kids knew me. Trust me, we knew you. Did we want to? Sometimes, no. Because the interfamilial shit.
Or you went through a wall.
No, that was if I was dumb enough to get caught doing something. That's how you learn not to get caught doing shit. Because my dad was like a cop. Like, you come in the house late, if you manage to get to bed without making a sound, you might get away with it. If, like, somebody made a weird noise and he caught you, you still got your ass spanked. There were times where I made it all the way to bed, would be rolled over, I wouldn't be comfortable, I'd roll over again, and I'd hear my dad whisper in my ear, roll back over. No. Literally whips your fucking shoulders around and pop! Your ass is spanked right there. And it hurts so much. This is a guy who weighs like 300-400 pounds smacking your ass. Like, damn. He put sumo flex in that fucking spank. Fuck the Flex Seal, give it sumo spank. E Honda style. Not to be confused with Gannon style. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because you have RFK Jr., which I don't even know why he's decided to get in the race. Everyone in his family is pretty much fucking cursed. Look at his dad. His dad ran for president. His dad got popped.
Well, you're also talking about difference in leadership, because when Kennedy got popped, when both Kennedy's boys got popped, the national agenda was completely different than what it is today. Then you had racism, you had rampant racism You had
the Cold War.
Good old boy status there.
The Cold War.
The Cold War, I think, was just starting to heat up at that point.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Again, like I said, there's a myriad of things, but I think the socio-political background was more, well, what? We're going to keep our power, and the South is going to maintain itself. And now we're dealing with that outdated Southern good old boyism, and throw in a good, healthy dollop of stupid wokeisms. Well, we know better now. You don't know how to read. You don't know the difference between a boy and a girl. Does a boy get his period? No. People who menstruate. Just call it a fucking woman. And have you watched Lady Ballers yet?
No, I was gonna watch.
I told him to watch that shit 2 weeks ago.
And I was gonna watch it today, but I got a call from Corey this morning. Hey, you want to go to the zoo?
I'm gonna slap his ass. Yeah. You're gonna talk about being about wokeism, but you're not gonna watch Lady Ballers. What the hell is wrong with you? At least I'm cultured enough to know what the fuck it is. Oh, and now you were talking about how Gen Z is, in one study you read, Gen Z is going more towards the lines of monogamy and being with one person.
Yeah.
That actually ran across my newsfeed. It was done by a study done in Utah. Don't count it. Most of Gen Z is looking to have as many relationships as they want to have, because they want somebody who can handle every mood they're in. And that's not always just one person. Lord knows if they got off their cell phones and medications and actually had to learn to cope with shit, they might actually come out. But we live in soft times.
Yeah.
Like, we had it harder growing up than they did because we didn't have technology. Like the cell phone or the laptop.
Yeah.
If we had grown up with those, our parents would have beat the shit out of us for breaking the smallest rule.
Yeah.
You had 30 seconds to check your phone and then put your phone down. If it was 31 seconds, your ass was going to get you a whooping.
Yeah.
Just like with the telephone. Yes, the corded things. I remember if you went over your time by 30 seconds, my dad put you through a wall. The phone would still be in the air where you were holding it, but you would be in the wall across the room. Like, literally, that's how my dad caught the phone. He'd come up, pop, while it was still in the air. Time's up, bye, click. That was literally how my dad was. And yes, was, because my dad passed away in March of this year, and no, you don't have to say your condolences. Already got them from everybody.
Yeah.
I just enjoy telling those stories now, because now I don't have to worry about if my siblings are like, you misrepresented Dad. No, I didn't. We all four of us grew up differently. My brother and sisters, we all grew up in different eras. Like my older sister, she was the whore of the group, if you will. She was always going out partying and all this other crap. I didn't get to do that. Instead, I was in the yard fighting other kids. And then my dad at 13 is like, takes me on the sidewalk of our place. And there's a bar a block away. Magoo's tells me, if any of them drunks get in the yard, I'm whooping your ass, not theirs. So I learned how to fight very quickly. But yeah, it's just the woke agenda, this Gen Z. Well,
gender ideology.
Gender ideology is okay if it's done at the right time, in the right place. Like my daughter, my youngest, she's like, Daddy, I think I'm gay, because she thinks she thinks she has a crush on one of her friends. I'm like, darling, you don't know what you are, and neither do I yet.
Yeah.
She might have an infatuation with her best friend, but they're kids. They're like 9 years old. There's gonna be, they don't know how to regulate their emotions yet.
Yeah.
So she may feel like she's attracted to her, but it may be a case of puppy love or God knows what else.
Yeah.
She's not gay yet. She's not like constantly talking about her friend all the time. She's still playing on the phone. She only gets like, I think the most we ever let her have during like Christmas vacation,
Yeah.
is like 4 hours a day on her phone. And that's me. That 4 hours is spread out over an entire day.
Yeah.
We're talking like half an hour playing Roblox or an hour playing Roblox, and then she's got to do Duolingo because she's learning Swedish and all this other stuff. So she's got toys to play with, Legos, movies.
Yeah.
And yes, she sings. When she sings along with a Disney song, she sings opera style. So we don't hear "You're welcome." It's "You're welcome." I can't do it. I don't sing that high. I would have to sing like Luciano Pavarotti, that kind of thing. But yeah, she doesn't. She is a part of Generation Alpha, though.
Yeah.
She understands. Like she come up to me, and when I said, "Did anybody refer to themselves as a them they?" My sister did. Her older sister Evie, and she's like, "Why is she calling herself a group of people?" A fourth grader asking you that is like, because that's Gen Z, and Gen Z didn't pick up on their education like everybody else did. They decided, well, we're going to make our own terms, and you'll have to accept them. Now, with the exception of gay, going from meaning happy to meaning homosexual, that took decades. With the exception of that, then they, for me, is never going to mean a person, unless you're talking about a customer. What's a customer say? Oh, they said, referential point. It's not an individualistic reference, though. Hello, them, they. I'm not calling you a them, they. It's ma'am, Ms., Mr., or dude, something like that.
Yeah, but just like Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star said that he cannot stand how Gen Z came up with all these terms during the freaking lockdown, the pandemic. He goes, them, they, them, zer.
They loved it because they were in control of all the streaming platforms. They were ruling it. And this is a generation that grew up on digital media. Yep. They didn't grow up being kicked out of the house and saying, go make some friends, fucker. They get online with their phones or their computers or whatever, and they're on them all the time. They have to be told to stop and eat.
Yeah.
Which for us is like, you get hungry while you're playing a game. Pause the game, or your parents will turn it off.
Yeah.
So you can go eat. And then you ate as fast as possible.
And ran back to your game.
And if you're lucky, you didn't throw up from eating it that fast.
Yeah.
Because I was like woofing. I was taking like a huge bowl or a huge plate, woofing it down just so I could run back and get on the Sega Genesis again. Because I'd be in the middle playing Mortal Kombat or Sonic.
Yeah. Now, what about this whole Ramaswamy or Veerswamy, whatever the fuck you want to call him, how he called the LGBT community a cancer in our culture that needs to be purged?
Okay, here's an even better question. He was talking about COVID, right?
Yeah. He made billions.
No, I was talking about, he made a comment about the vaccines and how it was there were things that could have been done better. Okay, you made billions because you were the CEO of BioNTech, one of the companies that supplied us with COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah.
Now, he made billions off of that. If you're so fucking smart, why didn't you get an audience with Donald Trump and give him, because you were too busy making money?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he made money. And then he's going to come up, well, this was the failure of the... no. You were the one providing the vaccine, fuckstick, not directing traffic.
Yeah.
So for a guy who's, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing... Okay, you're going to run the country like a business. Trump tried that and actually failed. That's why when people tell me, oh, I love his policies.
What policies?
What fucking weed were you smoking when he came out with policies? I've read his policies. I've had you read his policies.
Yeah.
And then when you're like, well, I liked it. When you said you liked his policies, what did I do? I grilled your ass on him. I told him, point them out to me, point by point by point by point. He goes into great detail. We had a week-long conversation, like multiple hours a day on the phone.
Yeah.
We're going over every single point in this man's policies. And at the end of it, what did you say?
You were fucking right.
because all his policies failed. Who would have thought? Yeah, who would have thought? A dude who doesn't know anything about all these policies, let alone all these subjects. I mean, the guy won't even let his record from Wharton School of Business be released because he'll sue them if they release it. That tells you he didn't graduate anywhere near the top of his class.
No.
It had to have been significantly lower than that.
Yep.
Just like when he says he's a stable genius, which he said publicly. You know, for a guy who's a stable genius, he sure uses a lot of really tiny words.
Yeah.
A lot of tiny words. He's not even an eloquent speaker.
Maybe it's to reference his tiny dick.
I don't know. Could be. It depends on who you believe, Melania or Stormy Daniels, unless they're giving the same story, which, in that case... He paid you and you married him? Ew! Yes, it gets dirty in here. Are you wearing boots yet? It's gonna get dirtier. Watch out for the mud piles on the wall.
Yeah, this whole freaking Republican debate,
if you want to call that a debate,
or debacle, or whatever, but get some serious candidates, not fucking Trump deranged MAGA candidates.
Well, the problem is you have to make the candidates that are worth voting for, worth leading, popular. And when's the last time Trump said anything intelligent? Exactly.
Nope.
The fact that he doesn't say anything intelligent, yet people flock to go see him, to hear him speak about things he has no fucking knowledge of at all. Where they said very bad things about me. Their job isn't to suck your dick or praise you all the time. Their job is to report you. Hannity, when he did his interview with Trump,
yeah,
that's a guy who's giving Trump a shoulder massage with one hand and a circle jerk, reaching around to do a rub off with the other hand. He's not doing him any favors by softballing him to death.
No, and I think Hannity actually got a little bit irritated with him about the whole dictator thing. I'd just be a dictator for one day. One day.
I knew as soon as he said that dictator word, the Democrats are going to go fucking crazy over it. And they did. The problem is he messed up by saying it. They messed up by latching onto it.
Yeah, and this one Democratic pundit made the comment yesterday on CNN. The reason, and this is what the pundit said, the reason why he said it is he knew we would talk about it. Yeah, he said, the more we talk...
Trump being interviewed or on the news, he makes his own gravy. You don't have to do much writing. You don't have to embellish anything. Type what he said in context. It will make sense. He makes his own gravy. He doesn't need build-up because he's already inflated his ego so far he doesn't need any more.
Yeah, and this pundit says, if you guys want to quit listening to him double down, we need to stop talking about this because every time we talk about it, he will double down more. And that was coming from the CNN anchor / pundit, telling CNN they need to stop talking about it. Because if they don't, he will just keep saying it and doubling down more on it.
I personally think he needs, aside from all of his 91 felony convictions he's got going on right now, besides all the legal shit he's in, do you realize if everybody stopped talking about him, stopped paying attention to him, basically treat him like a Kardashian, walk the fuck off, start ignoring him, you know what's going to happen?
He's going to go away.
He'll disappear like a fart in the wind. Oh, I need to do this. I need to... No. Shut up. And then walk away.
Yeah.
Enough times to that, he can get the homeless riled up, but what the fuck good are they?
Yeah. And, that article I sent you yesterday about the decision that the freaking Supreme Court is
yeah,
pondering.
When you sent me that message, you sent it to me worded as though they'd made a decision.
Yeah.
And I read the article, there was no decision made.
No.
It was in the process of being deliberated come this spring.
Well, come this actually June, come this summer.
No, that's when they come out with the decision. That's when the decision will be made. They're going to deliberate it amongst themselves in emails and Supreme Court chats, if you will, because they don't need to be on a phone. They can all get in one room. It's private. Nobody else is allowed in, and fucking hash it out there.
Yeah, and
literally, that room exists, people.
And 4 of them is freaking Trump appointed. Freaking Gorsuch, Kavanaugh.
I'm more worried
Alito and Barrett.
The conservative supermajority taking control of everything and be like, okay, take your goddamn religion out of my law. And this is everybody's law. Everybody should be worried, because if you start invoking religion in law, what do you also have to make room for?
Tell me.
Sharia law.
Yeah.
The law we claim to hate from the Middle East.
Yeah.
Where your religion governs the laws. No, we have laws that aren't governed by religion. Our laws make no exception for religion.
Yeah.
The only thing we're not allowed to do is impede somebody's religious practices unless they are violent or some shit like that.
Yeah. And just like those 3 justices, who was it? Barrett, Alito, and Kavanaugh. When they were getting confirmed, they all swore, we will not touch Roe v. Wade. It is a stare decisis law, so we won't touch it.
And
what the fuck happened?
I would go with starting to impeach almost all the justices who voted to strike down abortion, and now Clarence Thomas, he's coming under investigation. We shouldn't have to explain. You need to be ethical, lawful, dutiful, and loyal to the laws of the country.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, you don't need to be interpreting law for anybody, because you're proving that you are corrupt.
Yeah. And you have, of course, Mike Johnson, or they're calling him MAGA Mike. He spoke at the Christian Nationalist Convention in Tennessee.
The Nazi convention?
Christian Nationalists, what they're
Nationalism is how the Nazi party started.
Yeah.
Whoa, did I wake somebody up there?
Yeah.
That's how the Nazi party started, is a nationalist workers' party.
And
look it up and prove me wrong in his comments or in mine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. I did my history.
Well, he was speaking at the Christian Nationalist Convention in Tennessee, and he said what has gone wrong with the country is we've gotten away from the godly beliefs and the Christian beliefs and the faith beliefs, and under Donald Trump, everything will be just fine and come back into order.
all the other people I talk to. Well, he's a gift from God. He's going to bring God back into everything. Did God save kids from being molested in Catholic churches? Did God save all the women who were getting their asses beaten down by their husband because they didn't have everything exactly as their husband wanted? Did God make racism disappear?
No.
I don't recall God changing the hearts of the racists. He merely made it, at best, he made it unlivable for them to survive. I think it was more other people being passionate about racism and getting rid of it that did the cause. Not, well, by the grace of God. What does God have to do with it? If God had changed the racist's heart, there would be no more Ku Klux Klan. There would be no more racism. Clearly, this whole God argument is just something they use as a crutch.
Yeah.
I'm okay if you want to pray at the beginning of class, but you cannot be just Christian prayer. If somebody wants to put down a mat and, face whichever way Mecca is and do their morning prayer, let them. I'm all for it. I don't care. Yeah. I'm all good for it. If they're trying to sacrifice a cat because they're worshiping Baal, I have to take exception with that. But other than animal and human sacrifice, if they want to burn incense because they're into voodoo, or they start sitting cross-legged because they're worshiping Vishnu or Krishna or whoever,
Hindu.
let them.
Yeah.
I don't care. But it's the big argument in a lot of these places is, well, we need Christian prayer. We need Christian values. No, you want your values to be the law of the land. Nationalism like that we don't need.
Yeah. And he said the biggest mistake ever made was the Obergefell case. And he said, I've been in contact with my good buddy Clarence Thomas, and he's guaranteed me that they're going to go back and look at Obergefell.
Okay, well,
Do
do you have a uterus?
No.
Can you carry a child?
Nope.
Do you have a vagina?
No. Obergefell is the gay marriage.
Uh-huh.
He wants the
And you still weren't done with my line, though.
I said no.
You don't have fallopian tubes,
No.
eggs, none of that crap?
No.
Okay, now number one, this makes you ineligible to fucking decide an abortion case.
Yeah.
You're not a female. That's why I'm pro-choice. Next up with gays, are you gay?
No.
Have you ever been gay?
No.
Sure, you sure ain't winked at a guy in the...
No.
Okay then. If you're not gay and somebody else is, and they want to marry somebody else who is gay, or God forbid, a butch lesbian.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with that?
No.
Now, why don't you have a problem with that?
Love is love. Let them live their own damn life.
The only time I have a case against that is if the age difference is too wide. Like a 50-year-old trying to marry a 15-year-old? No.
Yeah.
And age is just a number. And prison's just 4 walls and a ceiling with bars on one side. Incest is only familial sex with all your family members. There's no big deal there. Same argument, motherfuckers. Grow up. Listen.
Yeah.
But for me, when Doma was taken down, I literally went to the gay bar I lived by.
Yeah.
Which used to be the store. I went there and I celebrated with like 2 of my gay friends who were supposedly engaged. You know, who cares, whatever. Yeah. At the end of the night, when I went home like 3 hours later, we had 24 people on our table. I'm dancing. I've got like two Twinkie boys resting on my arms because we're all dancing and shit.
Yeah.
I'm holding 2 guys up on my arms, and I got propositioned I don't know how many times that night. They're like, oh, you make such a wonderful dom. It's like, I'm not even gay. What? You're not gay? And then my friend, my black gay friend, he's like, no, he's an ally. He's been hoping that DOMA Defense of Marriage Act would get stricken down because that led to gay marriage by getting rid of it.
Yeah.
But everybody was shocked that I wasn't gay. There's nothing wrong with me celebrating with my gay friends that follow something that helps them get married. And if you look at the divorce rate, when people are like, well, divorce rate fell when we didn't have... No. Marriage rates weren't substantially altered by the passing of gay marriage. Now, here's a fucked up fact for you. His wedding anniversary is on January 6th. So every time they show January 6th insurrection footage, ding! His anniversary. Yeah. Sucks to have that one. Mine's worse, though.
Gay marriage.
My first anniversary was the day they passed gay marriage. So I share my anniversary. Me and my wife's anniversary is shared by millions of couples. So when everyone's like, "Oh, we want to come to our..." No! You couldn't have waited a fucking year or picked any other day. So when everybody's like, "Well, do you want to come celebrate our..." No, we have our own anniversary. I'm more into proving my wife that I love her every year, which I do throughout the year.
Yeah.
Not just Valentine's Day. We do all kinds of things all during the year. I let her get a buttload of stuff from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
I'm not a Hobby Lobby fan. I'm in, out, boom, done. I'm like 10 minutes, I'm done. I let her go in. I'm waiting for half a damn hour. Ooh, I see soft, fluffy pillow. I I walk into Hobby Lobby, I see lots of big fluffy pillows. The problem is they're attached to people. Yes, that may be misogynistic, but at least I know it is. There is a huge difference. And I'm not touching anybody's boobs. I'm not touching their body. I'm not even talking to them. Oh, well, you're lusting after another woman. I'm looking at boobs. I'm a guy. I'm not going to stop looking at boobs. I don't care.
You know, there's guys out there who look at boobs, but their wives say, don't. Tell your wife to shut her fucking mouth. Because she's probably looking at some other guy's dick while you're looking at boobs.
Or looking at his ass, or fantasizing about some muscular guy she saw. Oh, he's got muscles. He must be magical. Here. Oh! That's why when they say all men are pigs, no, we're just honest about...
boobs.
We're just honest about sex. Like, for instance... You're monogamous.
Yeah.
And you're married. So you and your wife have whatever relationship you guys have. It's monogamous.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, my wife is bi and I'm non-monogamous. So if I flirt with other women, I don't feel bad. And she knows about it because we're open with our communication.
Yeah.
Unlike your wife, who would be deeply offended if you even looked at another woman too much. If I'm looking at some chick, more than likely my wife's going, I see that ass too. You're looking at it with me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that much of it. You, on the other hand, you have to walk on eggshells, which I don't. Only if I piss my wife off do I walk on eggshells. And I don't walk on eggshells that long. And yes, I know there are plenty of women who are like, well, I couldn't do that kind of relationship. That's why I'm not married to you. I'm not dating you. Because I really don't like insecure women. I don't. No. I like secure, opinionated women.
Yeah.
And the women that are like, well, I can be no, you have to, trust me, if you don't have it, I know it right away. Like, I have quite a few exes who are very opinionated. They'll call me names that I wouldn't let anybody else call me. The only reason they get to, one, I've had kids with them, or two, we've had sex.
Yeah.
And usually it's shit like, well, you couldn't satisfy an elephant. It's like, oh, well, I got off the hippo already. Said that to a few of my exes. I got slapped in the face, a drink thrown in my face, but hey, it was worth it. They're going to make sexual jokes about my performance, and fuck them. I'm going to call them names.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all done with love. Ripping and boiled sarcasm.
Now, what I couldn't believe is, this, which I don't agree with Ramaswamy often, but I agree with him when he said climate change is a hoax or a myth.
Now, why?
Because, okay, back in the 80s, you've had, the ozone layer is depleting. You need to stop using CFCs and all this other shit. And just like you told me the other day, it was depleting because of cow farts.
Cow farts and cow dung were releasing methane in the atmosphere. It took them 25 years to figure this out, people. Yeah. Like they were telling us in the 80s and 90s, it's going to burn out, it's going to burn a hole in the ozone layer. They come to find out it's because cows were farting and pooping too much, releasing more methane in the atmosphere. Okay, so what are we going to do? Eat more beef? I'm all for steak, but I'm not going to pay the farmer extra money for the shit.
But according to the climate czars at the UN, eating beef is bad, and they don't want the rich countries eating beef no more.
Well, according to which scientist you talk to, having sex is bad, breathing is bad, being alive is bad. I'm not unaliving myself to please them.
No.
If anything, more meat, more sex, more oxygen, more breathing. Yes, please.
But yeah, look at them. They get to jet around the world in freaking private jets, and they're coming down on us because, it's climate change.
Go back and take a look at the statement you just made. They're off in private jets.
Yes.
So how do they make all that money?
How'd they make all that money? Rich and lying to people.
Lying to people and telling people what they want to hear. That way they'll get more donations.
Yep.
It's like they get very well funded. Well, I need a private plane because I have to go make all these speeches. And you're still getting paid for every speech you make. Some of them go on a block of every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, let's see. Trump, I can't remember if he gets paid or not. I know Clinton, she gets paid for every speech she makes, and she makes a lot of money to just making speeches. Kamala Harris, she gets paid for her speeches. I don't think the president does. Even though I wouldn't pay him to talk anyway. I just put him in front of a turkey, on a fake turkey on a fake table. Put a little grape juice in his glass, tell him it's wine. Give him 10 minutes. He'll never shut up. He'll start reminiscing about World War One. No shit. He'll reminisce about what... Dude, you weren't alive. I remember it deep in the trenches. Okay, dude, you're not Reagan. Back the fuck off.
Now, here's an interesting twist. Michelle Obama is wanting to get in the race.
I haven't heard anything about that, and I pay attention. I've heard rumors of people saying she was interested in getting the presidential race. I don't think she should yet.
Yeah.
I think right now is the worst time to do it. I think after, in my own mind right now, my own opinionation, let those parties weed themselves out. Yeah. Trump doesn't want to give up. Biden doesn't want to give up. Well, that's the problem we have. Is neither one of them wants to give up. We need to figure out which one of these two idiots is going to. If they're only going to be these two idiots, which one's going to win? Then after that, go away. The two of you go off and die in a pasture trying to die better than the other one.
Well, Biden said the only reason why he's in the race is to stop Trump. He said Trump wouldn't have threw his hat back in the ring. Biden said he wouldn't have ran for re-election.
Yeah, but now he had to double back on that and say now he's too far in.
Yeah.
And I personally don't think either one of them. Trump misses the power.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that at all. Trump is just in love with the power of the presidency because he can pretty much do any fucking thing he wants, and he thinks that it's legal no matter just because the president did it. And that's not actually legally true.
Yeah.
Personally, me, I'd love to see them be like, okay, you can't run for office until these legal things are until these legal issues are resolved.
Yeah.
Then after that, if you still want to run, go ahead and run.
Yeah.
The problem is Trump knows his time is now. His time is just literally this window.
Yeah.
He's exploiting this window and using everybody, and that's what that boils down to.
Yeah. See, what kind of made me mad was Ronna McDaniel made the comment the other night, right after that debate. Oh, well, I don't even know why these people are running for president. This might as well be a tryout for vice president. Trump's getting the nomination,
and he may very well get the nomination. The problem is all these people that are going for Trump. The problem isn't necessarily Trump. Trump isn't. He's not going to be self-elected and get in there all on his own one vote.
Yeah.
It's his constituency.
Yeah.
That's why he got into office in the first place. After 8 years of Obama, a lot of racist people got out and voted. A lot of old racist white people got out and voted.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to change the way the country was going. We were actually, upon Obama leaving, we had an economy we hadn't had since since FDR.
Yeah.
It's been that long ago. Not in our lifetime. Yeah. And we lived through Reagan, which is pretty fucking bad. But we got an awesome economy, growing and booming. Everything you want in an economy, we had. And then we get Trump, who comes in, and the first 2 years of his presidency
was the
were the after effect of the Obama effect. We had 2 years of afterglow because all he had to do was sit there and start acting like he was doing shit.
Yeah.
The nation was already on autopilot from Obama.
Yeah.
Literally, he was on autopilot. He didn't have to do anything. And then, the biggest fuck up, COVID. And that, and you guys are not going to believe this, but it's actually partly due to President Trump. Now, would you like me to explain why?
The NIH satellites.
Okay, you make it sound like we have satellites floating in space.
No, satellite offices.
I know, but you got to articulate that. Okay, boys and girls, here's a lesson learned. Obama had these satellite offices set up all over the world in hotspots. That way, if the swine flu or anything else popped up, there's a National Institute of Health would pop in, get the damn thing under control, and no pandemics ever happen.
Yeah.
This is the reason. Then Trump comes in. We're going to get rid of that. We don't need it. It's wasteful spending. And then all of a sudden, some dumb bitch eats a bat that's already infected with COVID and starts spreading it. And because there's no NIH office in that area, when before Trump there were, I think, like 6 or 7 around there, they're all eliminated. There's no first line of defense there. Had that office, I guarantee you, if Trump hadn't have eliminated the NIH office out there, you would have never seen COVID. Yeah. COVID would have been a fart in the wind. Yeah. Oh, there's something growing in China. Lockdown. No more COVID. Kind of like with the swine flu and Ebola.
Yeah.
Well, what's the president doing about it? He set up these satellites, so all he's going to do is sit back, light a cigar. What's up, bitches? And watch the fucking thing go to nothing. And literally, the NIH office stifled everything so that there wouldn't be a pandemic.
Yeah.
And President Trump, no, we don't need that. It's wasteful. Next thing you know, COVID hits us like it did, the Spanish flu of 1918.
Yeah.
Everybody's, we should have did. Trump should have done.
Yeah.
Trump should have seen. Trump should have. He could have torn down any number of things. It wouldn't have mattered. But that one fucking thing led to the world being on lockdown for 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not being conspiracy theorist about this at all.
No.
These is verifiably proven facts.
Yeah.
So it's not me listening to Alex Jones about about weird rainbow frogs making your children gay. Or rainbow-colored bees stinging your kids to turn them gay. Right? This is verifiable facts. If you look them up, you will find the connections.
Yeah.
Because, I made you look them up, and you found the correlation.
Yeah.
If the NIH office had existed like it did during Obama's administration, would we have seen COVID?
No.
We would have heard about COVID, but it'd been like, what's COVID? Oh, is that weird fucking thing they had over there in Asia at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I recall hearing about that. It died out, though. But Trump didn't want to waste money on that. He was more okay with, well, we need to tear up all the old deals we have and then rebuild them, and I rename them. And then when he basically had what he did is he took this pile of agreements, white-outed the names. So he took white out, scribbled it over the name that way it didn't have an authority. Then he changes 3 words in the whole fucking thing, writes his name on it, and puts a title on it. Here, that's what we're going to do. That's somebody else's idea already, you dumb fuck.
Yeah. NAFTA went to the USMCA.
And nothing changed in it. Oh, we're going to give them harsher penalties, which they don't actually enforce, which is just like NAFTA. Wow. What you can do when you read just a little bit. But yeah. And there's a documentary that I found on YouTube right as COVID was getting underway. You saw it.
Yeah. And
it points out the scientists in the lab responsible for COVID getting out.
Yeah.
Because COVID didn't. The lady who changed COVID to make it transferable to humans changed the S protein in it. And yes, I know some of you are thinking I'm going to be conspiracy theorist shithead, but no, I actually looked this stuff up. I saw the documentary. I shared it with you.
Yeah.
I looked the stuff up, verified it, and then China's like, we didn't do anything. They had 2 full years before we fucking bothered going over there to look. You think they were going to keep shit around? No, they scrubbed everything sterilely.
Yeah.
No, there's no way to prove shit.
Now, do you think it's kind of xenophobic to call COVID the China virus?
I believe it's belittling and the result of a bunch of latent racism in people who call it the China flu or China virus. Like, why not just call it COVID? Literally, that's the fuck it is. Or SARS-CoV-19, which is technically its actual name.
Yeah.
It's SARS-CoV 2019.
Yeah.
They simplified the year, but it's COVID-19, but it was 2019.
Because on Donald Trump's little town hall with Hannity, he kept calling it the China virus.
And when have you heard him use educated language?
Never.
And you were a huge Trumper back during the Trump administration, because we're both watching all these debates and these speeches, and he would of course be on Trump's side. I would have to go through I would have to send him shit and be like, hey, read this, read this, read this, read this. And I don't have a slam. I just don't like Trump.
Yeah. And of course, you have Nikki Haley now saying she's going from catch and release to catch and deport.
And you were so Trumpist that you'd like, oh, he's only... And every time you said he wouldn't do something, what did he do?
He did it.
He did what I told you he would do.
Yeah.
Because that's just how dumb and predictable he is. It doesn't take a genius to figure this out. Read and study people. Like I told him to listen to Mary Trump's book. He didn't do that. He didn't listen to the whole thing. But yet he's going to fucking hound me down the day he decides to get, what's her name's book?
Liz Cheney's book.
Liz Cheney's book on Audible. And you got to listen to it. It contains so many revelations. Listen to Mary Trump's book. Then tell me how revelatory it is. Trust me, your opinion, if you listen to that whole thing front to back, if you're not convinced that Trump is a bit of a sociopath and an egotist, you have fucking mental problems. Like, I've listened to that book 24 times now. I really enjoyed the book. And I'm not anti-Trump, but the strange part is Omarosa Mangold, all these people who are Trumpers and come out with books, they all give different perspectives on the president.
Yeah.
You know, it's the one thing that doesn't change.
What, being a narcissist?
How they describe Trump doesn't change one fucking word. Mm-hmm. All of the books say the same thing about Trump. Verbatim. He's insecure. He doesn't like to read long reports. He doesn't like to be have long reports doled out to him orally. Yeah. He wants everything in short, little, cute headlines. Yeah. Like you got a 19-page report on the incident in Sudan. He wants the one-paragraph version of it. He is like having a toddler. His attention span is short. Now, had he been the intelligent man he claims he is, I might have actually liked him. Yeah. But he claims to be smart, but yet he blocks everybody's ability to look up his records. Yeah. Only a man who's guilty of lying would hide his own records to save his own ass. Yeah. Okay, next subject. See, don't you love that segue?
I do agree with Chris Christie on a lot of things. Uh-huh. But there's something that tells me he's not going to make it past Iowa.
Honestly, I don't think he will either. But as far as a candidate that's for everybody and for our Midwestern beliefs here, he's hands down the best pick. Now, if everyone's like, well, he's not MAGA enough. We don't need MAGA here.
Yeah.
We live in a deep red state, by the way. We live in a Republican-controlled state with a Democratic governor. Go figure that one out. But I think the biggest problem we have now is you've got too many people that go to church every Sunday. God will save us if we go to church and wear really outlandishly nice clothes.
Yeah.
And it's basically a contest to see who can dress best for God. It's like,
who can outdo each other.
What's God care? If you're actually reading the Bible and taking into account the new God, not the God of the Old Testament who is wicked and vengeful, but a God who is understanding and loving, then it doesn't matter what you wear to church. It doesn't matter. As long as you're worshiping Him. But we have any viewers yet? Or is it just kind of there? Yes, we're looking to see if anybody's actually watching this.
Nobody is yet.
I'm not worried about it. I'll have this on my podcast anyway.
But so, what do you think about the whole transgenderism with the guys playing the girl sports and all these politicians? We cannot have that in our country.
As I've said before, and I've said this on my own podcast, trust me, I think my listeners are getting tired of hearing it. Set up a transgender sports league.
Yep.
That way, well, I'm a woman. You have a chubby right now, sir. Your dick is about to fly out of your shorts.
Yep.
What do you intend to do about that? That's a bulge. Ignore it. I can't ignore it. You're not a female. You cannot get pregnant. Ergo, you are not a woman. And for those of you who are like, well, I can't get... for those of you actual women who can't get pregnant, due to whatever circumstances, other than being born a male, you still have the capacity at some point to possibly have children. Now, well, I was born infertile. Well, then that's a genetic condition in itself. But it has nothing to do with you being a female.
No.
I think they need to have a transgender sports league working all the way up to the Olympic level.
Yep.
Because, like, right here where we live in Wichita, Kansas, it's a non-issue. You have, 3 trans students in all of collegiate sports here in Kansas?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Now, in places like New York or California or other places, they've got more athletes, and those athletes instantly garner attention. But for here, it's such a non-issue that passing gender-banning sports laws don't make any sense because it's a non-issue. Yeah. Less than 1/10 of 1% of all students who are participating in sports are transgender.
Yeah.
That is so small, it's not worth putting a law into effect for it.
No.
Like, oh my God, that's not a girl. You're not a Christian either. You're judging people. Did I break a rule?
Yeah, because you have what's her name, Riley Gaines, who freaking was on a Kansas.
They were on the campus of a college sports team or whatever, and
in Kentucky, and she was helping. What's his name?
No, she's from Kentucky. I thought.
No, she was swimming for Kentucky at the time that we had the Eric Schmidt freaking Republican runner against our governor.
And then there's the Leah Thomas who was swimming against Riley Gaines.
Yes.
And this happened in Kansas. I guess this happened on the premises of a college campus here in Kansas. But the only person who had an issue with it was Riley Gaines. Now, am I saying that Leah Thomas should have everything stripped from her or him? I'm not sure. What I am sure of, though, is that it's such a rare incidence here that we didn't have laws against it because it doesn't fucking exist as a problem here.
No.
Another state made it their problem to let this person be on the swim team. That's not on us. It's on that school. They want to be inclusive, okay. But like I said, if it starts becoming a problem, create a transgender league, but we're not going up against very good athletes. You're going against each other. You all want to be trans man, woman, intersex, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
You all want to be gender swapping people. You have your own sports league now. Now it doesn't matter. You could even be on steroids and fucking kill it. We don't care.
It doesn't matter what anyone says.
Yeah, who cares now? You got your own sports league. Run it, set some records, set some standards. For God's sake, be fucking professional about it. Well, we can't do. We want to compete against these other people, these other sexes. Okay, if you have a dick, you are a guy. If you have a vagina, you are a woman.
Yeah.
If you identify as a female and you stand 6.5 feet tall and you're trying to play on a women's basketball team, but you keep getting elbowed in the dick by women trying to defend you from putting in a basket,
Yeah.
basketball is probably not the sport for you.
No.
That or, again, transgender league.
Yep.
Instantly solve that problem at all. Now, I'm not saying transgenders don't have the right to exist, but the case of actual transgenderism is so fucking rare that I knew about it, you knew about it,
Yeah.
but the kids had no idea. And then all of a sudden you got these...
Politicians.
No. You have these woke fuckstick professors and influencers that come on, I decided I'm going to live my life as a woman. But you're not a woman. It's not hard math to do. And no, I'm not being a conservative asshat here. We're having an open dialogue about what we're talking about. If you disagree with it, let us know. Write a comment. Yeah. Like on my podcast, when it gets released tonight or tomorrow, when we're done shrinking it, I'll probably get a lot of hate. And I look forward to every moment of it. Yeah, I got to move that over here. See, yeah, there you go. Yeah, make sure I'm camera ready here. But yeah, we're having a dialogue. We agree on a lot of things, but the things we disagree on, like we disagree on quite a few things.
Yeah.
And yeah, we call each other names. We go off on each other. I mean, he's called me some fucked up shit. I've called him some equally fucked up shit. And there's a time where I told him to go out to a gay bar, grip some dude's dick, rip his pants down, and eat that dick. He said, "Fuck you" back to me. I was like, "I'm sure you'd love to, but you're still thinking about that gay dude at the bar, aren't you?" He told me to fuck off every time I brought that up, like for 2 weeks. It was funny as shit. How that guy at the bar taste? Fuck you.
Yep.
And the funniest part is you're blushing about it.
Yep.
Well, you're laughing,
Yep.
so we know you thought about it.
We've been friends for what? 20 years? 21 years?
Since 22?
Yep.
Or no, since 02 all the way. So it's been about 20, 21 years.
Yeah.
Because my oldest friend that I have right now that I self-communication with is my friend Alan. And he is like, he gives me a call. I'm fucking leaving. I don't care where I am.
Yeah.
I'm at work. Bye. Boss, I'm gone. Got a phone call. Have to go. He's like, he is one of those friends where I will take a bullet for him, and I know he'll do the same for me. So, and before you knew me, because you've known me a while, you've known I can be a badass.
Yeah.
Imagine that amplified by about 5 times.
Yeah.
That's the kind of crazy shit we were doing back then.
Yeah. This dude punched a brick wall at Quick Trip on Seneca and Douglas and cracked a fucking brick.
No, I cracked the wall all the way up to the top and all the way down to the sidewalk.
Well, still, you cracked the brick wall.
In one punch, and with this hand. No bruising, no broken knuckles. Broken knuckle I got recently in the past, 3 years is from accidentally punching my dog, and her bone structure was better than mine. She broke my knuckle, had to wait for it to heal up.
Yeah. And I think you're the reason why they did the remodel of the store.
Well, you remember the taco shop at Harry and George Washington?
Yeah.
You remember how the light pole was bent from the street side in? from like the Harry side.
You mean Harry in Washington?
Yeah, Harry in Washington. You're on Washington, and it's been inward from there.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that's been is because I was biking with my friends. We were really high, really drunk. We are talking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my bike to stop. I skid on some sand. I almost get hit by a fucking city truck, a city dump truck that can't stop in time. I whip my bike around. I whip around and I'm about to hit the truck. I decided not to, so I didn't break my hand. I went and punched that fucking aluminum pole. That whole dent is from me swinging downward on it. Dented that whole fucking thing for 5 foot down.
Oh, wow.
From 5 foot all the way to the ground, that big dent that was in it.
Yeah.
One swing. And no, I'm not saying I'm invincible. I was just really pissed off. And yes, I have episodes where if I get that pissed off, I'm another kind of strong that I don't want to deal with. But
Logan over here.
my wilder younger days,
yeah.
everybody's like, "Well, why don't you do this anymore?" Because I'm grown. Like when I got friends, like when you asked me, "Why aren't you coming over here and drinking?" Why would I go over to your house to drink? Why would I come here? We're at his house. Why would I come across town to drink? I still got to get home. You think my wife wants to be bored off her ass watching me get drunk? Because my wife knows it's going to take more than 4 shots to get my ass drunk. It's going to take a couple beers at least, and I think last time we checked, me and my wife, it took like 9 shots to get me to the point where, like, we're talking slamming one after the other, fast, to get me drunk in like an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, it has to be that fast for it to, and you're talking half a bottle of alcohol for 8 or 9 shots. That's a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Like the bottle of peanut butter whiskey I have now.
Yeah.
I've taken 3 shots out of it. 3 whole shots. It's sipping whiskey. It's way too sugary. If you're going to get screwball peanut butter. It's better and it's not nearly as sugary.
Now, did I send you that screenshot where Imperial's coming out with Doritos flavored whiskey?
Yes, and I will never try that.
Yeah,
that's like the whole flaming Dorito thing.
No.
The one Dorito challenge? No, fuck you. I'm not going to do it. You've actually tried to get me on that trip. If you remember, really, you were trying to get me into that thing of like getting on our podcast and trying the one chip challenge.
Yeah.
And what I tell you?
Fuck no.
And why did I tell you fuck no? I gave you an explanation. Let's not forget that.
Your ass would be burning for a week.
No, I told you the part about eating chips is the flavor.
Yeah.
Good barbecue isn't about heat. It's about flavors. If the heat complements the flavors,
yeah,
go for it, bitch. If all you're doing is trying to melt your tongue out of your skull, no thank you. I don't eat that shit. I actually know how to make my own homemade barbecue sauce. You know, you buy it every year.
Yeah.
He buys a jar of it, and apparently it goes down like gangbusters. Everybody who tries it loves it.
Yeah.
And it's not me boasting saying it's good. It's him. He's like, you got any more jars? No, I only make small batch. Like I make 6 jars, and then if I don't sell all those, I end up having to pour them out after like 6 months. Because there's a lot of flavor. There is some heat. There's like quite a bit of heat, but you can't tell me that shit isn't flavorful as all fucking hell. Like you can taste the different things in there. Because you were saying that Corey and Carmelina tasted it, and they couldn't get over they were like stunned by all the flavors in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of your friends were like, they couldn't believe it had that much flavor in it.
Yeah.
It had the heat. It brought the heat.
Yeah.
But it was also like mouth-wateringly flavorful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it was funny. My wife, I let her try some on a piece of barbecue beef, and she's like, oh, and runs to the fucking bathroom.
Okay. Did she wait for the taste to kick in?
Nope.
Then why are you giving her hot stuff then?
Just to see her run.
You should be like, no, go rub your tongue on the top of your mouth. Spread those flavors out. I guarantee you instead of heat, you get flavor.
Yeah.
Because when I was whenever I make the barbecue sauce, I stay my tongue, swish it around, and then spread it on my tongue. Spread it out.
Yeah.
instead of getting all the heat gives way to like the depending on what batch I'm making, like the Louisiana hot sauce, the garlic, the onion, the honey. If I use agave, then you can taste the agave.
Yeah.
The agave and the honey taste almost the same.
Yeah.
Agave tastes like watered down honey.
Yeah.
And I use copious amounts of onions and garlic. I don't care. But I also...
He's not a vampire.
I am, but you don't want to know what I'm sucking blood out of. I know. Lovely mental picture, isn't it? He's going to turn purple laughing here. Okay, but yeah. I make it different every time because different things, you know? They're like... If I taste something that's like... If I manage to make barbecue sauce in the springtime... I'm going to look for something like a blueberry ingredient or a floral ingredient. And you've tasted some of those seasonal ingredients. They pop the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like you get this overwhelming floral burst.
Yeah.
And it interlaces itself throughout the flavoring. Like you taste the heat, you taste the flavor, then you get that one little weird flavor of fruit in there, and it's like... I think one year you asked me like 5 different times what fruit I put in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, man, you got something. Yep. I had no idea what the fuck I put in it. And you know what I put in it?
What?
Mango. Changed the flavor of that whole fucking thing.
Yeah. It tastes so good, makes you want to slap your mama.
He's the one that tried it. I can produce my own barbecue sauce on demand, but I don't. But then again, unlike you, I'm multi-talented. I do tattoos, I do woodworking, barbecue making, grilling, and my daughter loves grilling. You give her chicken made from a grill, she'll eat that shit cold. She will let it sit in the fridge and get frosted.
Wow.
And then eat it. Like, no problem. Now we'll see how many times you lose your shit on Facebook because this is live and we're cussing, right? That's why I labeled not for children.
Same here.
That's why my channel for the most part is labeled not for children, because I swear, and usually in my podcast I'm drinking a beer. I'm enjoying a beer because it's been a hard day.
And belching.
Yeah, well, what happens with beer? But I'm not doing anything violent. Have I asked anybody to kill anybody?
No.
Have I incited a riot?
No.
Have I asked people to grow a brainstem?
Yes.
Have I asked people to learn? Have I asked people to research?
Yes.
But have I fomented any kind of riot, insurrection, or civil unrest?
Nope.
They do. If the people do that from watching my podcast, then they woke up.
Yep.
From a sleeping state. It's not because of my podcast that they're going to get violent. It's because they finally woke up and realized that certain areas you have to be violent in.
Yeah.
But I'm not inciting violence. Now here's an interesting one. You saw the fall of Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
Now, what did you think of that documentary? Because I watched it too. Full disclosure, we both watched it. I saw it before he did. He saw it and then texted me and said, "Oh, have you seen this? You got to see it." I'd already seen it like 2 days before he did. But go on.
George Floyd is not a saint. He was going to die any fucking way.
And I told you that when I found the original coroner's report. What did I tell you? Because I sent you a copy of it, did I not?
Yes.
And then you sent it to me thinking it was a different one. I got the one that wasn't highlighted. His ass downloaded the one that was highlighted and sent it to me. And then I looked at them both and I'm like, dude, these are the same fucking document. One's highlighted, one's not. And I told him, read it now. Instead of fucking just looking at the highlight, read the whole thing. And then I told you to look up the lethal dose of fentanyl and methamphetamines.
Yeah.
You did, and you learned, just like I had to a while back, that the amount he had in his system was lethal.
Yeah.
You could give that amount to 2 people, it would still kill both of them. But he was on a lethal dose of fentanyl. He would have died in booking. If they had arrested him and everything had gone like it usually does during an arrest, he would have gotten to booking and fucking passed away and had a heart attack right there.
Yeah.
Fentanyl would have killed him.
I can't breathe.
27 times as saying something means you can actually breathe. These are the laws of physics. Ask Neil deGrasse Tyson. If you have a 100-pound weight on your chest and you can't say something, you're out of breath. If you can say, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, you're saying it that loud, guess what you can do?
Breathe.
You can breathe, motherfucker. And no, I'm not anti-George Floyd. I'm anti-dipshit and tomfoolery. Like on my podcast, I have long maintained the position that Derek Chauvin didn't intentionally go there with the intent to kill George Floyd.
No.
And I also said that Derek Chauvin wasn't responsible for George Floyd's death. And the documentary proves that Derek Chauvin isn't responsible for his death. The people are like, well, he was on his neck. And the documentary shows photos of that fucking exact pose in the book.
And he was on the back, not the neck.
No, he was on his neck, and in the picture of the training thing, it shows the officer in that exact. They match up exactly. Yeah. No, I took a picture of the photo.
Yeah.
And my wife went and had a clear version of it made.
Yeah.
Line them up. Boom. Perfect. That was textbook. So anybody's like, no, that wasn't. No, that was textbook.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a martyr out of a guy who was a career criminal. Am I discrediting BLM? No, BLM does that all by themselves. When they went out on a limb and started defending guilty black men who were breaking laws, that's where they went wrong.
Michael Brown
being a huge one. Now, on my podcast from a while back, he remembers it because he was there when it got made. He was around when it was made, and you told me you listened to that bitch like 4 times. He listened to it a lot. But in my podcast, I point out that he and his friends were robbing a convenience store. He walks away from that to keep from getting caught. Him and his friends decimate the place. Then they leave. Not a few minutes later, he's walking down the road towards a cop, walks up to the cop in the cop car, tries to take his weapon out of the from the cop's holster so he can use it on the cop. The cop wrestles him off and then proceeds to shoot him as he runs away, and then he gets shot, and he's running toward the officer and keeps getting shot, and then he runs away again and falls down. I watched the video. I watched the full unedited video.
Yeah.
He's getting shot as he runs away. He comes back, gets shot 2 more times, runs away, gets shot a few more times. Michael Brown was not innocent.
No.
And I sent you some of the videos of him and his friends beating the shit out of the elderly in an apartment complex. Yeah. And Michael Brown was the one who went up and fucking knocked the old people sideways. He full-on bear punched them in the side of the head. These are 80 and 90-year-old people. Yeah. They should be dead from him swinging. This is a guy who got a full-ride scholarship for football, playing football. Full-ride scholarship. Gave it up to be a gang-banging bastard. And his parents, he was an angel. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
But all of this crap with BLM that George Floyd was a catalyst for, and they don't realize they're making a fucking saint out of somebody who was more guilty than he was innocent.
Yeah.
He used fake money. He was high. He was claiming he was claustrophobic. He was claiming he had COVID. He was claiming his mother had just died, even though his mother died 2 years previous.
Yeah.
When you say you're claustrophobic and you're in a small-ass van, considering his size, he's crunched up more in that minivan than he was in the cop car.
Yeah.
I'm claustrophobic. I can't take... No, you just don't want to go to jail. You broke several laws, so guess what? You're going to go to jail.
Yeah, and even the cop in the documentary said that he had dealt with George Floyd a year prior, in 2019. Exact same thing.
Yeah, he was fucking downing the pill. He was downing pills when they got busted. He was trying to swallow them.
Yeah, exact same circumstance and exact same behavior when he when he got busted. Yeah, when he was trying to be arrested. When dude was trying to arrest him.
And
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Yeah, and literally had George Floyd been reported honestly, it would have been 3 or 4 sentence headline, that's it.
Yeah.
Black man pulled over and arrested for counterfeiting and possession of drugs. Died on scene. Will be missed. Survived by daughter. That's it. There wouldn't have been any other headlines other than that.
Yeah, but thanks to the woke ass media.
No, thanks to BLM, and then wokeism, and then that race baiting asshat, Reverend
Al Sharpton.
Reverend Al Sharpton. Well, we need to set a better. No, you need to have a better martyr. If you're going to pick a martyr, pick someone who's a stand-up civilian, a stand-up man in his community. Let him die. Then I will be behind you 100% of the way.
Yeah.
But a guy who has a fucking rap sheet that's not just tiny, it's quite extensive, and those are serious charges, and he's a drug user, a drug addict, and he's high on drugs and breaking several laws all at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy him as a martyr. He's a shitty martyr. I can't buy the narrative, well, he was a good man. No, he wasn't a good man.
Yeah, his daughter actually made a statement on the anniversary of his death. I can't believe my dad's gone. He was such a good man and a good father.
She doesn't know the man he was. She's too young to know the man he was. His true self, he was a drug-using, drug-selling, career criminal, if you will. He was in and out of jail. And he waited till he was, in his late 40s?
Yeah.
Before he had his daughter. And then all of a sudden, well, I got to be alive for my daughter. We're not the ones who decided to have a kid in their late 40s. You are. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not our problem. Our problem is you broke the law, and then all these people were like, I wish I hadn't called the cops. I wish he hadn't left his house. Just stay the fuck where he was.
Yeah.
You don't want to die, and you're high as shit. Stay the fuck home.
Yeah. But I needed a pack of cigarettes in here. I was going to take this $20 counterfeit bill and pass it to the person.
Yeah. Forget about that crime too. I mean, he wasn't a martyr. He was a shitty martyr.
Yeah.
Now, Michael Brown wasn't a martyr, clearly, but everybody was like, they had riots over him dying. It's like,
yeah,
you have a riot over a gangbanger dying because you think it's just black police on black violence? No. What about the several armed black men during the BLM movement who literally would run towards a crowd of protesters? That way the cops wouldn't do anything to them, and then as soon as they walked away, the cops would fucking lay it on them as hard as they could, stopping them and then shooting them because they whipped out their weapons. He was an innocent black who was a felon who owned a gun and pointed at the cops and was attempting to shoot cops. Where the fuck is this angel person in that scenario? Yeah. It's the cops.
Yep.
The BLMers are literally obstructing justice by their woke ideologies of, well, all Black Lives Matter. All lives matter, motherfucker. And I've been saying that the whole goddamn time.
Yeah.
Not black. All lives matter, except for child molesters. Those people can go to hell and burn.
Yeah. I mean, look at Kyle Rittenhouse.
I was actually for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, so was I.
And I still am for him. I defended what he did. Like, I sent you the video of what happened to him, because you sent me some weird fucked up YouTube version of what happened. I sent you the full length of what happened. If I was in his shoes, I probably would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They were going to kill him if he didn't shoot one of them.
Yeah.
He had to prove he could kill somebody for them to back the fuck off.
And you could, like, literally see one of the guys running up with a fucking gun.
A gun, a skateboard. That skateboard missed him by inches, if that.
Yeah.
And then when he shot them, yes, I understand there's a huge mess up because the riots going on. Police didn't understand what was going on. Not only did he go to turn himself in, he went back and turned himself in.
Yeah.
This is a kid who's not trying to escape dude, if I'm guilty, fucking put me away. I don't care. At least I'm clean.
Yeah.
I can die with a clear conscience. That I respect. This crap of, well, we're going to destroy a city because we stand for Black Lives Matter. No, you're enabling criminals and sociopaths to fucking have a ball with you, and they get away with whatever they want. Fuck you and that opinionation.
Yeah, and there was like several commentators talking about how they felt the judge was on his side because the judge let him pick the one of the jurors, and be a jury foreman, and
I don't know. I don't recall much about anything. I just remember people. Right-wing media was screaming that he's their darling. Left-wing media was like, this man's a murderer and he's crying like a fucking bitch. He needs to grow some balls and admit that he liked killing him. If you like killing people, you either belong in prison or the military. And usually the military doesn't take account of the people who enjoy killing.
Yeah.
I think he got a really, really low, mild form of PTSD from that event.
Yeah.
And as I have PTSD now, I didn't want it. Don't ever want PTSD.
Yeah.
When you have PTSD, even if it's very manageable like his appears to be, you have very emotional episodes.
Yeah.
Like when I was learning to wrestle my emotions again for PTSD, I would cry for no goddamn reason. Just start crying out of nowhere. Like when I was after I got out of physical rehab and was waiting to go back to work.
Yeah.
I'd break down and just start bawling. I'm sitting there laughing at something, but I'm bawling my eyes out, and my wife be like, "What's wrong?" Nothing. I'm laughing, but you're crying for. It's like you're sad. I don't know what the problem is. That's all in your head. It's literally all. And no, I'm not saying PTSD is something you can snap your fingers and change. Depression, maybe. PTSD, no. It takes. You have to learn to control it and to figure out your triggers. Whole litany of shit.
Yeah, just like Kyle Rittenhouse, he's trying to get in at Arizona State University for the online courses. A few of the Arizona State University students are boycotting it, opposing it. Oh, he's racist. He's a murderer. We don't want him in our school.
Who cares what the students think? I get it if the parents don't want them around. They're the ones paying tuition, most likely. But the kids are like, I don't want to go to school with this person. I bet the people who went to college with, who was it?
Ted Bundy?
Yeah, Ted Bundy. I'm pretty sure the kids who went to school with him wouldn't have gone to school with him if they'd known he was a sociopath. Don't get a choice in that. I don't see Kyle Rittenhouse as a sociopath.
No.
I think if he could have prevented killing somebody, he would have. But in the circumstances he was left with, I would have done the exact same thing. I probably would have shot a few more people to get him to just stop fucking chasing me. These are people who don't give a shit. It's what's right in their book, not what's actually morally right.
Yeah, but yet during the trial they portrayed the rioters out as victims.
What about all the stores they destroyed during that riot? Are they not victims? All the stores during all these riots that happened, where the police were getting frozen water bottles thrown at them, were they not victims? All because the left anarchists or the anarchistic left, we want freedom and we have to have it now. You ain't earned it. You just don't. You just want to tear everything down so you can have it the way you want it, and fuck everybody else.
Yeah,
that's not the way to run a country.
A radical utopia.
No, that would be an anarchistic utopia, and it's not. Anarchistic utopia is not something you want to see, because then if say I walk up to a guy and I want to fuck his girlfriend, I kill him, I get the girl. Some other guy wants to screw her too. He kills me, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Because there's anarchy, there is no law to that.
It's like the purge.
Well, that's the bad part about anarchism. And, there are people who want communism to come back and take over in waves. The problem is communism has never worked.
Yeah.
Every system in which communism is set up, it fails.
Yeah, see, just like here, what it was this past Thursday. What's his name? Vladimir Zelensky flew to the United States. Had a sit down interview or meeting with Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Discussing aid for Ukraine. He had a meeting with both the Speaker of the House and Chuck Schumer and in Moscow, Mitch McConnell. And Mitch McConnell and Mike Johnson says, no aid until our own borders are fixed.
Well, as opposed with Ukraine, I think we made two mistakes.
And Volodymyr Zelensky is now is despairing because of what's going on in Israel with Hamas. Because all eyes have been turned from Ukraine to Israel, and he don't like it.
Because it's taking away all of his funding.
Yeah.
We made two pivotal mistakes when it come to Ukraine. One, we keep giving them money. I get they need money. They don't need that much fucking money. We're sending them the drones we're sending them are $1,000 a whack. Some of them are $5,000 a whack. And we're sending them all these drones, and they're reprogramming to become, how about with their war and everything like that. The second thing we did is promising them that we'd stick with them until they won. Well, what if they don't win?
Yeah.
We can't be stuck in another quagmire like fucking Vietnam.
Yeah.
We don't want a no victory outcome. If we're going to participate in the war,
or Afghanistan.
Well, technically in Afghanistan we did win, but the price was too high. It took too long to do it.
Yeah.
And for my money right now, helping Israel, good thing.
Yeah.
But don't tell them what to do. Back the fuck off. Let them get rid of Hamas.
Yeah.
A lot of Palestinians are going to get killed because that's the way Hamas operates.
Yeah. But there is some good news on that front. IDF has taken in over 36 Hamas terrorists that was blending in with a refugee camp just south of the Gaza
What
Strip.
I want to know is if these Hamas insurgents, these Hamas terrorists, are so good at hiding. I would go around asking their family members, okay, did you know he was part of Hamas? Yes, we knew he was part. Then you either start turning them in or we're going to kill you. We'll just start bombing the shit out of everywhere you live.
Yeah.
We will follow you and bomb everybody you know. Give them up. Make them give it up. Because you're not going to get peace if they're allowed to mix with the civilian, with the innocent people. Dozens of people died today because you wouldn't come the fuck out and hand yourself over. We don't want to die. Neither do they, but they're willing to live in peace with the rest of the people. You want to annihilate them.
Yeah.
They're not trying to eliminate all the Palestinians.
Yeah, and you have three of the most high-ranking Hamas commanders not even in Gaza. They're in the UAE staying in a 5-star fucking luxury hotel while their soldiers are getting killed.
Well, you know what I'd be more worried about is misinformation. Like the death toll numbers we're getting, we're not getting them from Israel.
No,
we're getting the Palestinian numbers from Hamas, which runs the hospitals.
Yep.
If the terrorist group that's trying to eliminate Israel is telling everybody they're getting, telling everybody what the death toll is, because they run the hospital there, I wouldn't trust that number anyway.
No.
I would say it was inflated.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, okay, everybody wants that hospital to be the one they go to. Get rid of Hamas. Turn Hamas. They know who Hamas is.
Yeah.
But I just want to live in peace. So does Israel. The problem is Hamas doesn't want to live with Israel at all.
Yeah, and see, our illustrious president says, can't we just set up a two-party state?
And fuck all the shit we've had to give up, and all the negotiations we've made, and the peace treaty we have with Israel where we back them. Fuck all that, right? All because we are Palestinian, we need land. Stop having fucking 8 kids.
Yeah.
And then those kids all have 8 kids. And then those kids, pretty soon you're going to have a huge population to know where to put them because you live on a... With all the desert there is in the Middle East and all they can do to terraform it to be profitable and livable, they don't do it. Well, we belong on that land. Well, the Israelites have been there since time immemorial, literally.
Yeah.
They've literally been there. They're like the first recorded settlers there. No, we are. We taught. No, you're not. You came from another land to make war on the Holy Land.
Yeah.
With the Israelites. And now all of a sudden it's your land? You took the land from somebody else. How the fuck is it your land when you took it?
Yeah.
Like when the Israelites came to the land of Canaan, which is modern day Israel.
Yeah.
Was anybody there? Wasn't a fucking human in existence that lived there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just land.
Yeah. And well, it was the land of the Canaanites, but still it was land.
The Canaan. What? Now you remember me talking about this on my own podcast?
Yeah.
Again. What happened to the Canaanites?
All died out.
No. What happened to the Canaanites? The Canaanites moved their entire civilization, every last stick, every last pet, every last fart. They moved it somewhere else because they were going to war with another country.
Yeah.
They were gone for 100 years. The land started to revert back to itself. It was looking like it did before they settled it.
Yeah.
The Israelites come in and settle this bitch, and like, what is it, 40 to 80 years after they get done settling, the Canaanites come back like, you're in our spot. I didn't see any markers for any land here, motherfuckers. And God said we have it. God apparently made you move your entire civilization.
Yeah.
We couldn't find any, there's no record of anybody living in the land of Canaan. There's no record of anybody living in the land of Canaan except in a historical record, except for the Israelites living there when they settled there because they made it their permanent settlement.
Yeah.
The Canaanites wrote about it, but they didn't leave anything behind to mark their own territory, so they'd be fucked in my book.
Yeah.
Like if I left to go make war for 150 years and then came back like, what are you doing on my property? What the fuck am I doing complaining about my property? I abandoned it over 100 years ago.
You'd be like,
it's stupid.
You'd be like, bye, Felicia.
I'll be telling myself to fuck off on that one, but that and the Canaanites abandoned their land to go fight a war. Why would you move your entire civilization over to fight a war, and then when you come back, like 3 generations later, or whatever the case is, this was our land. What happened?
You moved away.
You left. You abandoned the land. The land didn't have any signs of civilization there.
Yeah.
And according to the archaeological record, there is no record of them being there.
Nope.
It's only the Canaanites, and it's only the record of the Canaanites that proves that they were actually there.
Yeah.
So when you abandon your land, okay, you give that up, and then all of a sudden the Muslim people come in, we want this land and we will kill you to get it. Fuck off. And then when they started going genocidal on them, that's when a lot of the Jews had to move.
Yeah.
They didn't want to leave their homeland. It was their fucking land. They settled it.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to leave at all. It wasn't the fact that we'll leave because there's a war going on. It was, they are killing all of us, we need to leave. Yeah. And then they come back and fucking victored over them. So this thing of the Palestinians owning the land, like, no. You stole land from people that were already there.
Yeah.
Who had a rightful claim to it. I mean, the land is empty. There's nobody there. God told them to take it. So they took it. And then the original occupants come back like, what are you doing in my house? Dude, when we came here, there wasn't anything here. We picked up everything and left. For 3 fucking generations?
Yeah.
You have no more claim. I mean, if somebody came back and told me that my great grandfather owed him $20 and now I owe that with interest.
Yeah.
Boing.
That's the.
I tell you to fuck off because you have no claim.
Yeah, just like you have all these these progressive Democrats in Congress that's urging the United States to stop funding Israel because they're colonizing civilization. They're on land that don't belong to
No,
them.
they're not a colonizing civilization. The Palestinians are colonizing civilization, and they keep doing it time and time again. History will show that.
Yeah.
If you're not using woke or TikTok history to learn that, you'll figure that out. Because all these people are like, I've got all these records. No, you have made up records of bullshit you want to believe. I know the historical records. I've been studying this shit for years.
Yeah. And a United States Congresswoman, she's progressive Democrat, where she gets to leave, stood up on a podium the other day, goes, "From the river to the sea, my people will be free."
And that's actually against United States policy to do that. And the fact that students are doing these things tells you how many people are so stupid they get influenced by TikTok, Snapchat, and YouTube from the extreme left.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've watched some of these videos, and, okay, you remember the name Hebron, right?
Yeah.
You remember the city of Hebron?
Yeah.
Now, there are maps that go back fucking centuries, if not thousands of years. Hebron has not changed its name in many millennia.
Yeah.
It's been the same city. The Palestinians are calling it their city. We settled this city. Really? Then why is that a fucking Hebrew name? Hebron is Hebrew.
Yeah.
It's not Muslim. You learned something yet? Did ya? Hebron is Hebrew. It was founded by the Jews. It's been there for fucking centuries, if not millennia. So when they say that the Palestinians named it, why the hell would Muslims or Palestinians name something
Hebrew
or Jewish? Why they give it a Jewish name? They wouldn't. That's why the problem is, people. People are learning this shit off of TikTok that, Hebron is an ancient Palestinian city. Are you stupid? I don't even remember what the fuck the name Hebron means. But I know it's not Palestinian or Islamic or Muslim.
No. If it was
it's fucking Hebrew.
If it was Islamic and Muslim, it would be a Muslim name.
And it's clearly not. And people have been pulling up. People are like, well, no, and we've thousands of people have been pulling up maps that show that Hebron was there since even before the Palestinians knew what they would call the place. There was a place called Hebron.
Yeah.
So this shit of them being there forever? No. When they got there, it was already named. So your claim of them already having... No. It's bullshit. It's dead. You're over it. Get over it.
Bye-bye. See ya. Move on.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap this up because my throat's getting dry, even though I've been drinking this huge fucking gullet of water. Like, I'm getting empty now, and when I came over here, it was more than half full. But on my podcast, that's why I'm looking at my camera, I will have more for you later in another podcast, because I got to make another podcast, damn it. And hopefully I get some insight back from you guys. It's ought to be interesting, to say the least. Remember, I'm not making the history up that I'm quoting. We both know this history. We both took history class. This is not hard shit to learn. If your TikTok history teaches you all these woke things, get a better teacher. Like, seriously.
Or get rid of TikTok.
Are you kidding? Gen Z getting rid of TikTok?
I'm talking about freaking the politicians.
No, let the kids get off of TikTok. And watching it, the entire generation will crash. But anyway, I look forward to seeing comments, videos, response videos, if you care to send them. Whatever you want on my podcast, go ahead and do it. This will be titled Food for Thought. Let's call it part 1, okay? So peace out on my podcast.